Hey, I'm Paul Rabley. I'm an estate planning attorney and want to share a circumstance that I see a lot and came across my desk recently and has to do with the usufruct. What happened was a mother passed away years ago, and she died what's called intestate, which means she didn't have a will. And so in Louisiana, she was married and she had kids at the time, so her husband inherits under our intestate laws, our laws that apply when somebody dies without a will, with a spouse and children. The husband inherits the usufruct of what she owned, and her children inherit what's called the naked ownership. Well, now years later, that surviving husband is getting remarried, and one of her two kids, one of her two kids has a substance abuse problem. So that surviving husband is now saying, well, I'm getting remarried and I hear that my usufruct terminates upon my remarriage. Is there anything that I can do to keep my substance abusive child from getting the money and just, blowing it? So the short answer is no, there's nothing you can do. The little bit longer answer is no, there's nothing you can do. Maybe you shouldn't get remarried. Hate to say that, because marriage is not supposed to be about having to settle up with your kids from the first marriage and give them money when they're going to go spend it on drugs. And then maybe the little bit longer answer is if your child, once your child gets all of these assets, will voluntarily agree to put his assets into a trust for himself, but name someone else as the trustee under the appropriate terms, then maybe that could be a way to preserve the assets for the child. But most substance abuse children aren't going to voluntarily agree. They're not going to say, oh, I'm entitled to $500,000. Great. Let me turn it over to somebody else and so that I can't get my hands on it. Just probably not going to happen. So tough situation when a surviving spouse remarries after their first spouse had died intestate. And when the surviving spouse remarries, funds go immediately to the children of the first spouse to die at a time when the children should not be getting a lump sum of money. What can you do about it? Not much, other than, plan ahead of time to cover those potential scenarios. I don't know if there were substance abuse problems before the first wife died, and if so, they could have arranged things so that the child wouldn't be getting a lump sum at this point. But just don't know that I have all the answers in this video, but just to make you aware that these are the kinds of issues that often come up kind of down the road that can be addressed ahead of time by putting the right legal plans in place. I'm Paul Rabley. Have a great day.